Hey guys, this is Lucy. Welcome to episode number 2 of Permaculture Perspectives. In this episode, I'm going to be telling you guys why it took me so long, almost 2 years in fact, to put out the second episode of this series, and we'll also be discussing what it means to live on the edge when it comes to permaculture. And I will be letting you know what you can expect from this channel moving forward. So stick around. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to episode number 2. I made episode 1 of this web series back at the beginning of 2015 while I was completing my master's thesis for my degree. And it took me a really long time to actually sit down and do episode number 2. I know a lot of people were wondering what happened to that, and I felt really bad because I really wanted to continue with this series. I really had fun making the first episode. I think it was a little shaky and I probably rambled on a little too much, but I think I can correct some of those things. I really wanted to continue doing it, but I was actually traveling for a lot of the past 2 years. I was in a lot of transitory situations and I didn't really have the right equipment to make like decent quality videos. So finally I'm in one place, at least for a little while, and I have a lot of downtime right now, so I thought, why not just pick it up and keep going with this. I really wanted to create a better online dialogue about permaculture. I think the movement has grown so much over the past, like 5 years. I've just seen a dramatic increase in the popularity of permaculture. So I just think it's great to have this online platform and we can discuss how we interpret different things. So today I wanted to talk about the edge. Now in permaculture, the edge is a really important concept. Generally when we talk about the edge in permaculture, we're talking about the edge between two different systems or subsystems. And usually you'll see examples where they're talking about two different ecosystems, like a lawn meeting a food forest, or the edge between a road and a wooded area or a planted area. And in permaculture and in ecology, you always learn that the edge is the most interesting place to be because it's an intersection of two worlds. And we're taught in permaculture to value the edge and to not be afraid of its difference, to actually use it to our benefit, because you'll see the most diversity of plants, animals, whatever, living right there at the edge. So you can use the edge in a way to increase productivity in your garden, to decrease the amount of work you have to put into your garden, and a whole bunch of other great stuff. But today I really wanted to focus on the social aspect of the edge, because it's something that I've been reflecting on for the past 2 years. I really have been noticing how the edge applies to my life, and I feel like social permaculture is still not really being discussed to the extent that it could be. Like the social applications of all these really cool principles we learn in permaculture, I think are so great. So I thought that today we could talk about what it means to live on the edge from a personal social perspective. And I think the best way that I could share my view on that with you guys is just to talk about how it has manifested in my own life, and hopefully somebody will be inspired and we'll continue the conversation from here. So something that I've noticed my whole entire life is that in my social relationships, I've always gravitated towards forming deep friendships with people who are living their own edges. So what I mean by that is people who are pushing themselves somehow, pushing their boundaries, who are stepping outside of their comfort zone in some way. I remember when I was in high school, a lot of my friends were international students. These were people that were coming to my country from other parts of the world, leaving behind their homeland, and were like taking this leap of faith, I guess, into the unknown. And I, for some reason, really connected with them. And then I later found out that traveling was my way to push my personal edge, because I was really shy when I was younger, in elementary school, and even in the first few years of high school. I had a lot of trouble overcoming my shyness. And I found that traveling was a way to force myself to overcome that. And I think that's why I always gravitated towards people who travel in some way, because I knew that they were doing something that's what I wanted to do. And I found throughout my life that traveling has been a really good way for me to stay on my own edge, to live on that little like sub ecosystem of diversity. Because when you're traveling, you meet so many different people and you're exposed to so many different perspectives, and it makes it a lot easier for you to connect with people who share your own perspectives on things. I found that I feel the most comfortable, in fact, in situations where there are people from a variety of backgrounds and with a variety of experiences. I feel that I'm most at home in those situations, and I've just recently really come to realize that, and I think that can be really important for me going forward in my life, just knowing that. And another way that I've lived my personal edge as a human being, I remember, again, this goes back to childhood, I would take these little calculated risks, like unnecessary little risks. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but like I would place a glass too close to the edge of a shelf or a countertop, just waiting to see if someone would come along and bump that glass, which was a little bit reckless. But I remember those kinds of things, like I wouldn't leave to catch the bus until the very last minute, even though I could have left a few minutes earlier, just to see if I would really catch that bus. There's a little bit of an adrenaline rush with like testing yourself and seeing, will this work, won't this work? A little bit of risk taking. I found that I kind of really enjoy doing that, and I've noticed that I still do it today. I'm not really aware of it unless I like reflect on what I've been doing the past little while. And I think that's just a part of me, like trying to keep myself on that edge, just trying to stay, I don't know, like keep my mind nimble in a way, I think. Just testing and having fun with the unknown, I think, is something that I'm trying to do. Using this concept of valuing the edge and pushing boundaries, which really can manifest itself in a million different ways depending on the person. And I think everybody is pushing their own boundaries every day in one way or another. But I think that becoming conscious of the fact that we're doing it and trying to do it even more, I think could be really healthy, because I think humans are definitely creatures of habit, and we tend to get into routines. And when we're in routines, we can kind of switch off parts of our brains and kind of just coast. And I think yeah, like just realizing our patterns and trying to push beyond what our comfortable patterns are and seeing what lives on that edge, what's on the edge of comfort for us, I think is really useful. And I think especially in today's day and age, in the political climate that we are, I think there's a lot of like clashing happening. I know. There's different perspectives coming at each other, and I think we need to live in discomfort in some way. Like we need to be able to approach each other with completely different life experiences and different privileges and be able to have conversations. And a lot of the times that can be really uncomfortable. And so becoming comfortable in our own discomfort I think is a lesson that we can find in permaculture. That's the way I've interpreted it anyway. You guys might have other interpretations, but pretty much it's good to live on the edge. That's just my little take on that permaculture principle, which is valuing the edge. I'm really curious to see what you guys think about that. And yeah, that's about it for today. I did want to let you guys know some of the kinds of content you can be expecting in the future from this channel. It definitely won't be 2 years apart. I'm going to be trying to put out videos, at least a couple every month. And I think the kinds of videos that you can be expecting are, one, these kinds, just sort of personal reflections, my interpretations of different teachings and principles of permaculture, what I think about them, in an attempt to start a conversation. The other kinds of videos that you might be expecting are vlogs, so really more personal journal type entries. So my partner and I, for those of you who don't know, have been on this kind of crazy roller coaster ride looking for a piece of land and a place to start our own permaculture based project and livelihood project as well. So we've been all over the map trying to do this in the past little while, and I said I was going to do some blogging about that, but I never got around to it. We are still doing it. I'd like to start to update you guys on what's going on. So the vlog type of video is the other type of video that you might be expecting on this channel. And then I would definitely like to incorporate other kinds, like maybe interviews with other permaculturists or collaborations, but that remains to be seen. But I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next episode of Permaculture Perspectives. Before I forget, please feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to stay updated on the new episodes that will be coming out, and also to support me in what I'm doing. And please feel free to comment below with any suggestions or conversation starters, and we'll take it from there. Thanks. See you around. Bye.